that the President and First Secretary of ZANU-PF, His Excellency Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa's term of office as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and First Secretary of ZANU-PF be extended beyond 2028 to 2030.
Section 212 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe mandates the Zimbabwe Defense Forces to protect Zimbabwe, its people, its national security and interest, and its territorial integrity, and to uphold this Constitution.
I've been Minister of National Security for a very long time. So most of the systems in Zimbabwe, I created them. So they always remember who their godfather is.
We ought to face directly and bluntly this whole nonsense about 2030, and it must be buried.
2030 ndi chipo.
State matombo idasi. Dai zvaitogoneka taitoita kana mwedzi ositese todawo president wacho.
So at ZANU-PF's just ended conference, People's Conference that was held in Mutare, ZANU-PF made a very critical resolution, one that has effect to all of Zimbabwe. They resolved to extend the presidential term, albeit we don't know how, but they gave an instruction to the ZANU-PF Secretariat. They gave an instruction to the Minister of Justice, Ziyambi, to ensure that everything within their power is done to extend President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's term beyond the legally permissible, according to the Constitution right now, 2028 to 2030. That is an extension by 2 years. Now, on this, the Free Talk, in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom, we delve deep into that and see the challenges that has been triggered, the discussion, the action, and the future. Now, this is, and this will always be the Free Talk with me, your host as usual, Dara B. Join me after this break as we discuss the Constitutional Court challenge of Mnangagwa's presidential bid extension. Welcome back to this, the Free Talk, in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom. Now, on this program, we answer the biggest questions for you. So what? So what is in it for you? So what? Why should you care? Why does this affect you? And on this episode of this, the Free Talk, in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom, we look at a Constitutional Court challenge that is now before the court, a request for direct access to challenge what would be a presidential extension bid for 2030. And to join me discuss this is none other than one of the applicants, a politician who's known for, who came to fame after he sued the late Morgan Tsvangirai, after saying that he had helped Morgan Tsvangirai stitch up the MDC alliance and he was not paid for it. He's also a political leader of leading the party VOA, and he's also an author in his own right. Thank you very much, More Precision Mzadzi, for joining me.
Thank you, Darabi.
Amazing. Now let's just start from the top, More Precision, before we get into the questions. What have you done? Why this Constitutional Court? What is it about? This Constitutional Court challenge, rather.
Thank you. I'm pleased to say we have just paid the filing fees a few moments ago. So it's now a case before the Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe. The crux of the matter is that we are challenging the resolution that was made by ZANU-PF on the 18th of October 2025 in Mutare. We are saying the resolution is a violation of the oath of office that the president took, which was to respect the Constitution of Zimbabwe, to uphold the Constitution of Zimbabwe, to obey the Constitution of Zimbabwe, and to defend it. So when the president of a political party makes a resolution to destroy the People's Charter, when he is actually the president of Zimbabwe, we should be the first person to stand up and say, we cannot disregard the supremacy of the Constitution, because all arms of government are subject to the supremacy of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. So this constitutional court case is about challenging that resolution, number one, and saying the conduct of the president is unconstitutional. Number two, was saying the president has failed to fulfill a constitutional obligation. The obligation being that he should respect the political rights of the people of Zimbabwe under Section 67 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The right being the people of Zimbabwe have got the right to free, fair, and regular elections. Regular elections meaning every 5 years. So by unconstitutionally seeking to extend this term to 2030, is acting ultra vires the Constitution of Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want us to first go step by step in terms of the cause of action that you have. On this cause of action of your application, I mean, cause of action just basically means the reason why you are looking to have this. You say the president of Zimbabwe and his party have just endorsed a resolution to extend his term in office from 2028 to 2030 in violation of the constitutional term limits.
Yes.
This extension means that there will be no elections in 2028, violating several clauses of the constitution, mainly the political rights of the applicant, citizens and political parties to vote for president and parliamentarians in regular elections.
Yes.
Now, how do you come to the conclusion that there will be no elections in 2028?
Okay. It is very clear if you look at the resolution that was made by ZANU-PF, they actually said we're giving a directive to the Minister of Justice and the Speaker of Parliament to do everything possible and between now and October 2026. Now, when you give a directive to the Minister of Justice to do something that is unconstitutional, and the Minister of Justice goes forth and becomes the spokesperson, someone who took an oath of office as a cabinet minister to obey, uphold, and respect the Constitution of Zimbabwe.
But you're not answering my question.
So,
how did you arrive to the conclusion that there will be no elections in 2028?
Very, very well. What was the resolution? The resolution is saying we want to extend the president's term from 2028 to 2030. Power to govern is derived from the people. So how do you extend without elections, without a referendum? So it means they are now acting outside the parameters of legality.
How do you know? How do you know that they are not going to have the referendum? That probably put differently.
If you try to look at it, there are two things that have to happen for the president to go to 2030. Number one, the Constitution is very clear that any amendment to term limits does not benefit the incumbent. And if there is any attempt to change term limits, it has to go to the referendum of the people. If you try to look at those two things, they make it virtually impossible for the president to continue in office. Because one, he cannot benefit from that. Number two, there has to be at least two referendums. Number one, to say, can the president benefit from it? Number two, are the people agreeable to changing the term limits of the president? So those two things, it clearly shows us that the current government is going to turn rogue. No two ways about it.
Aren't you jumping the gun? Because you are now, pardon me. You are perceiving what ZANU-PF wants to do. Or what government is going to do. What if the government is prepared to run those two referendums?
What you are taking to the Constitutional Court, you are saying that two things that you are saying. Has the president failed to fulfill a constitutional obligation? Number two, is the president's conduct constitutional? These are the two things that we are pushing. Number one, what happened in Mutare is misconduct. The president failed to fulfill a constitutional obligation. How is the president defending the constitution and a resolution is being made to violate the political rights of the people of Zimbabwe, to violate these term limits? Where is the element of defending the constitution? Where is the element of obeying the constitution? Where is the element of upholding the constitution? Where is the element of respecting the constitution?
Are you aware that ZANU-PF is a voluntary private organization?
Very well.
And whose resolutions does not bind you or any other citizen? Are you aware of that?
If you look at our court application, we did not cite ZANU-PF as a respondent because ZANU-PF did not take an oath of office to respect the constitution of Zimbabwe. We took the president of Zimbabwe, who is the president of ZANU-PF. His loyalty first and his respect first is to the, and his obligations are to the people of Zimbabwe and the constitution.
The president himself, pardon me, the president himself has said that he's a constitutionalist and he will step down when his time comes. That's what he has said. If we say, for instance, that the president was there, he listened, but he's not going to follow through with that resolution, what would you then say?
I've given you an example to say, when he took the oath of office according to the third schedule, it expects him to do 4 things. Section 324 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe says, all constitutional obligations must be done diligently and without delay. So what are those duties? What are his duties as the president? His duties are to uphold the constitution, respect it, defend it, and obey it. How does he sit in a place where a resolution and a directive is being made to destroy and massacre and mutilate the constitution of Zimbabwe and is passive?
But in all fairness,
he's violating section 324. Constitutional obligations must be diligently observed, faithfully enforced, and he must defend the constitution. He should have stood up like he did the previous year and said, no, I'm a constitutionalist. But we can see that he was being hypocritical because you cannot allow people to sing even in parliament, a chorus saying 2030, something that is unconstitutional. Why not saying this is unconstitutional? Let's respect all arms of government and must respect the supremacy of the constitution of Zimbabwe.
What?
This is our national conscience.
My question still remains unanswered. What if they want to achieve this extension of 2030 in a constitutional manner?
I've given you the course of action. We're saying already what he has done. He has failed to fulfill the constitutional obligation. Section 167.
There is a constitutional obligation for the president to respect the rights and express free will of the people.
Yes.
He respected their rights and free will. Did you want him to arrest people for saying 2030? Did you want him to invoke an executive order to ban a political party, a private citizen, from believing that it wants to change the constitution to allow an extension of a presidency?
Okay, I brought the constitution.
Sure.
It gives some of the things that falls under the mandate of the
We
constitution.
can give you a hard copy. So
I have a constitution. It can come whilst I read for you. Section 167, 2D. It says, subject to this constitution, only the Constitutional Court may determine whether Parliament or the President has failed to fulfill a constitutional obligation. Then, the second part, Section 167.3, it says, the Constitutional Court makes the final decision whether an act of Parliament or conduct of the President or Parliament is constitutional. These are the 2 things that were taken to the Constitutional Court for a determination.
What was the conduct of the president?
The conduct of being passive and being part and parcel of a team that is seeking to destroy the constitution of Zimbabwe and undermine the rights of the people of Zimbabwe, the political rights under Section 67, the right to free, fair, and regular elections.
Do you think
these are rights for citizens and political parties?
ZANU-PF is a juristic person. I think it is a juristic person. As a juristic person, it has no right to want to amend the constitution to suit its interest. Does it not have that right?
I was in the constitution making process from 2009 to 2013, the COPAC process. I think in one of the pictures I sent you, you saw the team from ZANU-PF under late President Robert Mugabe, MDC Changirai, MDC Mutambara, small opposition parties, the chiefs. If you look at the process that we went through to have the new constitution of Zimbabwe, it took all political parties. We had the help of UNDP. The budget, we had a budget of 50 million. The government of Zimbabwe forked 28 million for the constitution making process, the COPAC, from 2009 to 2013. UNDP forked 22 million. And we had outreach teams that went throughout Zimbabwe, the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe, for us to come up with this document. So the constitution of Zimbabwe is the people's charter. It does not belong to one political party. It has to be respected and seen in that light. If you try to look at our constitution, it's just 12 years old. But we've got nations, great nations like America, whose constitutions are over 200 years old. They continue to guide them. Every president must respect the checks and balances that are within the constitution. The constitution is not made for one person. The people that spearheaded the constitution in 2013, we're talking of the late President Mugabe, the late Morgan Tsvangirai, are they still with us? No. But this is a landmark. Even the Bible says, you shall not remove the ancient landmark. The 2013 constitution is a landmark for the people of Zimbabwe. It's there for the 16 million people of Zimbabwe. It's not there to please one candidate. In 15 years or 20 years, the current president won't be there. So why would jeopardize generations that are to come to please one person? The August House that was there between 2008, during the time of the GPA, 2008 to 2030, will go down in history as the most excellent August House that we had. They gave us the 2013 constitution. We had problems prior to 2008 with the former president, Robert Mugabe, because of the issue of term limits. Now, just 12 years, we've got an August House that is a disgrace, that goes to sing in parliament. That one, during the GPA, gave us the 2013 constitution. The current one, they are full of, they are imbeciles. They are busy singing something that is outrageous the constitution. So we have got two arms of government, the executive and the legislature, that have gone wrong. Now we're going to the third arm of government to say you have to provide the checks and balances, protect the rights of the people of Zimbabwe.
My question still has not been answered. So do you think ZANU-PF, which is a juristic person, has no right whatsoever to have dreams and to have aspirations of changing a constitution and expressing it at its own private function?
What ZANU-PF does in its own house, they can be madness, keep their own madness in their own house, but they cannot now try to diffuse their madness to affect the whole country. Your rights start and end where your nose starts and someone else's nose begins. So you have to know other people have got rights. They can be made in their own house. They can be a house of imbeciles. Let them be.
At this point, are they not just being made in their house?
Now their madness now has infected a state president who has got a mandate to protect the constitution. You see now? If they keep their madness with themselves and do whatever nonsense in their own house, it's fine by us. But the moment they are now instruct the Minister of Justice and the Parliament to do everything possible to triturate the rights of the people of Zimbabwe, there we've got a problem.
Do you know that during the ZANU-PF conference, also a resolution was made to remove the 2% IMTT tax? And there was an instruction to the Minister of Finance to that effect.
You know,
the Minister of Finance has since come out publicly saying that it is most unlikely that that 2% will be removed because it is the one that's keeping government alive. Now, given that history, would you not think that the same can happen on the 2030 agenda?
You know the problem that we are having? We've got a government that is trying to emulate the model of China, where the party is superior to the government, which should not happen in a republic like Zimbabwe, where a constitutional republic, we should operate by a different set of rules. But when you emulate the wrong models, you end up with a situation that we have, where the party now abuses and is overbearing and interfering in the duties of a government.
Would it not be prudent for you to have waited until you see government start being infected before you make this application?
The problem with that approach is that if the current constitution is in any way by the madness of these people removed, by then it won't be law, it won't be enforceable. The law then will now be enforced, and the courts will not be able to enforce what will not be the current law. What has already happened is that the president is out acting unconstitutionally, has failed to fulfill his obligations, and is trying to interfere with the political rights of citizens, political parties. This is what we are fighting for. Zimbabwe's constitution ensures multi-party democracy.
My question was, for instance, once cabinet tables, right, a paper that it is going to do this, at that point, before the law has been changed, at that point, you now know exactly what is going to be happening, exactly which sections of the Constitution are going to be violated, you would then make your application. Because at the moment, if I say that you are just being speculative and you have approached a constitutional court on speculation, what would you say?
That is a lie. I just gave you section 167(2), which speaks of the Constitutional Court having the constitutional mandate to look whether the conduct, the actions of the president are constitutional, or whether he has fulfilled a constitutional obligation. So I gave you.
So his conduct right now
is unconstitutional.
The conduct is that you are accusing him of being silent when citizens in his party expressed their intentions. You were supposed to stop them. That's what you're saying.
The citizens are championing his interest to stay in office. They are not pushing. The person who's supposed to stay in office is not ZANU-PF, it's the president himself. As an individual, is the beneficiary. And how does he benefit? By violating the Constitution. The Constitution of Zimbabwe is not ambiguous. It says 5-year terms. That's it. So he's trying to be a beneficiary when there are two clauses that forbid him. One, the term limit clause. Second, it says an amendment to the Constitution, the incumbent cannot benefit. So we cannot be passive. The other thing, the president has got an obligation to defend. When he defends something, you're not passive. I just gave you section 324. It's very clear. It's not ambiguous. Say all constitutional obligations must be faithfully observed and defended. He took an oath of office. He should be the number one person defending the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The leader sets the tone. The tone in ZANU-PF of lawlessness, it comes from the leader. A fish rots from the head.
Let us look at the allegations that have come. That especially when going ahead and not knowing, you are actually giving an opportunity for this to come to life. Because your application without full facts is most likely to fail. And when it fails, it gives advantage to those pushing for the 2030 agenda. What would you say to that allegation? I've seen it.
If you look at our draft order, it's requesting 9 things. I'll just give you some of the things. If you open the page.
Yes, sure.
The first one, I think, is saying the first, second, and third respondents are acting unconstitutional. I think number 3 or 4, it is actually asking the Parliament of Zimbabwe to put in motion a motion to remove the president for acting out reverse the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Just yesterday, we just engaged.
You are putting an order to the Constitutional Court for Parliament to remove. When Parliament is a separate arm from the judiciary, how does that order? I mean, it's not even justiciable.
It is open section 167.
You can have a conversation with me about it. How does the court say Parliament go and remove the president?
Okay, if open section 97 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, it's very clear. It says these are the conditions of the removal of the president. Whenever the president is found to be in willful violation of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Parliament has to put in process for the removal of the president. And there are 2 main reasons that are put under section 97 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Let me just read them to you right here. The grounds upon which the president can be removed from office, section 97 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Are you there?
No, you go ahead. Yeah?
All right. It says, the Senate and the National Assembly, by a joint resolution passed by at least 1/2 of their total membership, may resolve that the question whether or not the president or vice president should be removed from office for A, serious misconduct, B, failure to obey, uphold, and defend this constitution, C, willful violation of this constitution. 2 main points I want to cite.
But this is
section paragraph 3.
My point is they are not getting an instruction from anywhere.
They will get an instruction once this court the Constitutional Court has determined whether the conduct of the president is unconstitutional, whether the president is acting willfully in violation of the Constitution. Then this court order can be granted. Now they've got grounds now to cite section 97.
You said your prayer is to have the court instruct Parliament.
Yes.
I mean, that will never happen.
It will.
And you know it. Legally, it cannot happen.
It can happen.
The House of Assembly and Senate must, in its own volition, after an order that the president has violated the Constitution, then decides whether they want to remove the president or not. They cannot be given an order.
The order from the ConCourt will be saying the ConCourt has found the president being willful violation of the Constitution. May you look into the possible removal of the president. That is allowed within the Constitution. I just given 2 sections. Section 97 saying these are the grounds.
Can you read again for the benefit of our viewers?
Okay. Section 97 says the Senate and the National Assembly by a joint resolution passed by at least 1/2 of their total membership.
Where is the court coming in there?
You have to read these 2 sections or 2 clauses of the Constitution together, Section 97 and Section 167. I remember earlier on I said the Constitutional Court has got constitutional mandate to see whether the president has fulfilled a constitutional obligation. Number 2, whether the president has acted unconstitutionally. Those are the 2 things. So where the Constitutional Court finds the president to be in willful violation of the Constitution, Parliament now can be instructed to look into put a motion to look and investigate whether the president of the nation has acted in willful violation of the Constitution or not.
Let us agree to differ there, because we might go the whole day, but there's a concept of separation of powers.
The concept of separation of powers also works with the concept of checks and balances.
Yes. The court can only, in as much as it can, is limited to the interpretation of the law. And when it interprets the law and says this conduct is unlawful and it's unconstitutional, it then is struck off. It cannot, in all fairness, go and order a parliament to remove a president. That will not happen.
Mr. Msang, yes. Let's stick to what the Constitution says. Because the Constitution... Let's look at Section 167. Even if you've got a copy on yourself, we can read.
Please go ahead.
Let's look at what the Section 167 says. Yeah. Because the Section 167, 2D, subject to this Constitution, only the Constitutional Court may determine whether Parliament or the President has failed to fulfill a constitutional obligation. So they can make a determination. 3, the Constitutional Court makes the final decision whether an act of Parliament or conduct of the President or Parliament is constitutional. So when...
on that aspect we agree. But where does it say that the court has the power to instruct Parliament to remove
That's why I'm
president?
saying the sections of the Constitution, they are not read in isolation. They are congruent. They are in tandem with each other. Where the Constitutional Court finds that the president has acted unconstitutionally. Let me finish, Mr. B.
Mr. Mzadzi,
Let me finish.
Mr. Mzadzi.
Let me finish, Mr. B.
Mr. Mzadzi, yes. But I want to say this, and I want to say this to you. The law is not about what we think, right? It's not about what we want, right? The law is the law because it is the law. The law does not give the court any power whatsoever to remove a president.
I just gave you...
It has...
I just read you section 167.
Yes, which is very
what
clear.
are the consequences of the Constitutional Court finding that the president is in violation of the Constitution? So they just find the president violated because they fold their hands. They have no power to do anything. The Constitution gives the Constitutional Court the teeth to act. And it can instruct to say any person, any juristic person, yes, got to act on this one. Once a court order comes that finds the president to be acting ultra vires the Constitution, it gives them the power to order any branch of government to say, you have to investigate it, you have to put this process in motion. It doesn't just sit and say, the president is acting unconstitutional, we will do nothing. It
has the power. Once it finds any law or any conduct to be unconstitutional, it has the power to declare it so unconstitutional and so unenforceable on anyone. That is as far as the court goes.
No. Right? Section 97, Mr. B.
Let us move on.
Do not read these things in isolation, Mr. B.
I actually understand how to...
Why the reason why a president can be removed. I just gave you the reason why a president can be removed. Those are the reasons that were put before the ConCourt.
I agree with you, Mr. Mzadzi. Yeah. I totally agree with you how and why.
Let's stick to the Constitution, Mr.
Yes.
B. Yes.
I totally agree with you how and why a president can be removed from power. I do agree with you.
And who determines that the president is violating the Constitution? It's the ConCourt.
The ConCourt can
So it is determined that what happens, what are the consequences? Those are the ones that are enshrined under Section 97. Say these are the grounds for removing the president. When the president violates the Constitution, he has to be removed.
The grounds of removing a president.
Yes, right? I read them to you.
The grounds and rules of removing the president.
Yes.
Senate and Parliament and the House of Assembly as joint, Mr. Mzadzi.
Yes.
Right? And with a vote, not an instruction.
I just read you section 167, Mr. B.
Okay,
and section 97.
Right,
Mr. B, the problem that we have right now in Zimbabwe, we know what the problem is.
Let us go
we have got a parliament that is defunct. If it was in other nations, the action of the president, the August House would have moved already on its own. The fact that we are taking them, even as second respondents, it shows that we've got a defunct parliament.
Mr. Mzadzi, I hear your concerns, and I want you to be able to address people on facts, on issues.
Yes, that's why I'm sticking to the Constitution.
Parliament, as it is composed with Senate and the House of Assembly, have the powers to remove the president. That is clear. But the ConCourt, the courts, do not have powers.
They do.
Okay.
They do. I just gave you section 167. They do.
I mean, if you're going to read it on your spare time, you'll find that your interpretation is not as what is written. But let us go to your application,
yes.
Mr. Mzadzi. Right. You claim that applicants' political rights under Chapter 4, Section 67,
yes,
are upheld, and general elections will be held in 2028. This is what you want.
Yes.
Where are you getting this thing that there is no intention to hold these elections?
Okay.
Because there are numerous ways in which a term of office can be extended. And one of those terms of one of those ways is to extend the number of terms the president can be in office, right? And let's say the term limit extension clause is removed and elections are held. This right will not be violated.
Mr. B.
Yes.
I think you were reading the draft order.
Yes.
We were saying the rights of citizens,
yes.
political parties
yes.
will be violated. What you are saying is power to govern is derived from the people. So he cannot, as it stands right now, go to 2030. Because this mandate that the people gave him is just 5 years. When you are given 5 years, you go. It doesn't matter whether you are good or bad, you go. So let me answer, Mr. B. Let me answer. I'm answering you.
You're not answering my question,
I'm giving you. So regular elections in Zimbabwe we have elections every 5 years. So this one is trying to extend his term to 7 years when he has been clearly given a 5-year mandate by the people. You go back to the people that gave you the mandate in the first place. He got his mandate from the people of Zimbabwe. He didn't get his mandate from Parliament. So if he wants anything, he goes back to the people. That's why I was saying.
My question is,
Mr.
How do you know?
He has already passed the resolution and instructed a government minister in violation of the Constitution. Doesn't he know that his term ends in 2028? He knows that it's clear. Let us not try to hide the facts here. He's seeking to extend his term beyond what is constitutionally permissible. People of Zimbabwe are expecting elections in 2028. Give them. This is the durable empowerment that the Constitution gives the people of Zimbabwe to have a government of their own choice.
Who said there will be no elections?
They've already said.
Where is your evidence?
The evidence is that he wants to go to 2030. How do we go to 2030 when we've been given a 5-year mandate?
Probably is going to be voted in.
We don't guess. That's why I'm saying the Constitution gives him 5 years. We don't guess about that. These 2-year terms end in 2028. Full stop period. No speculation about that. It's clear as day. What are you talking about 2030?
What if the Constitution is changed?
Not what about the Constitution is not ambiguous. It says 2 5-year terms.
I'm asking you because from now till then, there's an opportunity to have a referendum to remove the term limits, a referendum to even remove.
That is a massacre of the Constitution now. Huh? A Constitution that is not even 12 years, you are massacring it. Why are you destroying the Constitution?
But if it goes to a referendum...
Why are you even attempting to go to a referendum to make the president benefit? Is that being a constitutionalist? Is that what the people of Zimbabwe said between 2009 and 2013 when we went into the outreach? I was in the outreach. I was part of the ConCourt. I heard what the people of Zimbabwe said to address the problem that we had with the President Mugabe, who had no term limits. Now you want to repeat the same mistake. That's why people say people never learn from history. We had problems just prior to 2008 because we had a constitution that had no term limits. Now we are back again trying to do the same thing. The constitution, that was the main reason why UNDP, African Union, SADC gave us President Thabo Mbeki with the GPA, so that you guys come up with the constitution term limits. This thing was a combined effort, the constitution of Zimbabwe, with coaches like Paul Mangwana, Monsora from Shangirai, Mkosi from MDC Mtambara. Those guys, you can bring them right here and they will say the same thing, that this is what came from the people of Zimbabwe. I want to give you an example that the current president is not being constitutional in his actions. I was part of the outreach. People of Zimbabwe spoke clearly on the issue of death penalty. They say, we want the death penalty to be there. But here he comes now saying, I want to remove the death penalty. One person against 16 million people. Is that being constitutional? Is that respecting the constitution?
But this
is that obeying the constitution?
This is not what is in your papers, Mr. Mzadzi.
These things will be added in the heads of arguments as we go. We shall still to file heads of arguments. But as from yesterday, I won't be self-acting with my colleague, President Kambakwe. We've engaged Prophet Advocate Joshua to be the one that will be representing us.
Advocate Joshua who?
Prophet Advocate Joshua. He's a constitutional lawyer. So he'll be the one that will be...
That is his full name?
Yeah.
Prophet Advocate Joshua?
Yeah.
Okay. These clauses you drafted by yourself?
These ones I did myself. So from now, the heads of arguments and all the other prophecies, even the representation in the ConCourt to be done by a lawyer.
Yeah, but I mean, you are refusing to answer my question.
I'm answering you as honestly as I can, Midara B. One thing that I will not do is give you things that are outside the Constitution. No,
my question is,
my parties will believe in people's charter,
my question
upholding the Constitution. I was part of the Constitution.
I understand. Outreach. My question is,
I know what the people of Zimbabwe want, what the people of Zimbabwe says. I know what the Constitution of Zimbabwe says. We have got a rogue regime in power right now, a kakistocracy. The least suitable people are in government right now. These are the people that are in the executive, and these are people that are in parliament.
What would you have lost, Mr. Mzadzi, if you had waited for government's move?
You can
you can now really know.
You can never, where there is a directive to destroy the Constitution, and you sit and do nothing. And then when it's too late, you are reactive. By then, the Constitution will not be the Constitution of Zimbabwe. It has been destroyed. There is a situation. There is a case that we had. Let me give an example. Darabi, you have been a victim of the judiciary process. There is someone who was not supposed to benefit from a change of term limits, but he benefited. What are you doing about it today yourself? He's there in office right now, but I won't say it. He's there. What have you done about it? It has already been done before. So is it a lie? The Constitution was mutilated to make someone an incumbent benefit, and that person is in office right now as we speak. What have you done?
And you're approaching his court.
There are people, because of the sensitivity and that these cases are before the courts. That I will not comment further on that.
No, but you're the one who opened.
I opened it because you yourself been a victim of the same processes on the judiciary. That is how far I can go with it. But another day on another platform, when we don't have this case before them, I will speak further on that one. Can you agree on that one?
But you have opened yourself.
I've opened. I just gave you an example because I was trying to show you these things is possible. We've got an abnormal regime that can do anything. This has already happened, and you can see once bitten, twice shy. We cannot be reactive all the time. We have to be proactive when action has been taken, solid action with the time frames to say the Constitution has been destroyed by such and such a date, to allow this person to do something that is unconstitutional. We cannot sit. I am a political party.
What if government says they have no intention whatsoever to do this?
We act on what has already been said, what is on paper, on record, on video, on anything, the resolution that they have made, and the failure of the president to defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe. That's why I was suing someone who is supposedly be actively defending the Constitution according to Section 324. He has got a constitutional obligation to obey, respect, uphold, and defend. Where is the defending element there? When will he stand up and defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe?
Yes, hasn't he?
Where is it defended?
He has.
We're not saying I'm taking away rights to vote.
He said
I'm taking away right to have regular elections, not only the rights of citizens, but of political parties.
But Mr. Mzadzi, let us tone down.
Yes.
Look at the facts.
We're looking at the facts,
Right.
Mr. B.
The facts here are very simple. As it stands, as of today, there will be an election in 2028. As of today. As the law stands today.
That is very true.
As of
today, we stop the madness of the executive and the resolution that is outrageous the Constitution of Zimbabwe, we have 2028 election. And what we are doing right now is to make sure all those that are wrong and hell-bent on destroying the Constitution of Zimbabwe are dealt with and silenced so that everyone in Zimbabwe respects the supremacy of the Constitution. What does clause number 2 of the Constitution say? Section 2 of the Constitution. This Constitution is the supreme law of Zimbabwe, and any other law, conduct that is inconsistent with it is null and void to the extent of the inconsistent. The president's conduct must be consistent with the supreme law of the land of Zimbabwe, which is the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Let us respect the People's Charter. That's where we're coming in. We will not suffer again. We've suffered before. We saw it being done, and we saw the consequence. And up to now, there is an illegality that is existing. We will not have a second illegality. They were testing waters. How passive are the people of Zimbabwe? This scholarly naivety, say, let's act, they will wait. We've got an abnormal government. They do not respect constitutionalism. They have not inculcated the principles and the values of constitutionalism.
You're so passionate about this, but I want us to be clear. As of now, there is nothing legally before us as Zimbabweans that shows that President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa will extend his term beyond.
There is a directive. Even from a grade 1, from anyone, maybe it's only who doesn't know that there is a directive to destroy the Constitution so that the president goes to 2030. Who doesn't know about 2030? Who doesn't know the resolution? What is a resolution? What is a resolution? What is a directive? Giving a directive to a justice minister and the Speaker of Parliament remove anything that hinders from the president from illegally extending his term to 2030. And you say there is nothing before us. Are you not for what, my brother?
I think
there is everything, my brother.
There's nothing legal before us.
There is something illegal.
What is that?
The conduct of the president is unconstitutional. He has failed a constitutional obligation. I've given you 4 things that the president is obligated to do. He has to uphold the Constitution. He has to respect the Constitution. He has to defend it. He has to respect it. He has done nothing of those 4. Those are the 4 duties of the president. Number 5, he has to respect the rights of the people of Zimbabwe. And unfortunately, we've got defunct commissioners like the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. It is mandated by the Constitution to call anyone of authority to say, why are you violating the Bill of Rights under Chapter 4? The people of Zimbabwe, the citizens, political parties, they've got the right to vote in a free, fair, and regular election. Why are you trying to take that in by such mad rhetoric?
Okay. On your 7th prayer before you asked that 1st to 4th respondents are ordered to stop all procedural amendments of the Constitution.
Yes.
Right. So the order is for unprocedural.
Yes.
But if they are procedural, they can go ahead.
Very good. If the people of Zimbabwe are given a chance to have a referendum to say, do you want to have the terms extended? That's fine. It's provided in the law. If the people of Zimbabwe are given a chance to say, do you want any other things? Don't you want to have elections in 2020? And they say, we don't want elections anymore. We want Zimbabwe to be turned into a kingdom. Then that's procedural. But as it stands now, you cannot just say, I want to go to 2030. From where? From where?
So in your intelligence, this directive from ZANU-PF was to direct 1st to 4th respondents to do unprocedural amendments.
Very true.
Is that what
the directive and the resolution from Mutare is to make Zimbabwe a kingdom without a constitution, is to disrespect and is to destroy, to massacre the current constitution. They look at the current constitution as an enemy. They're not looking at the Constitution as something that protects us as the citizens of Zimbabwe.
What makes you think ZANU-PF wants these amendments to be done?
The resolution. They are seeking ways. That's why they say, do everything, the Minister of Justice, between now and October 2026 to make sure that the president goes to 2030. when something that is not provided for in the constitution, that is in total violation of the 2 10-year limits.
What if they want to do this?
Not what if, we say what is there.
I'm asking you.
There is no ifs there. It's clear as day. What their intentions is clear.
Is there directive to say, did they say to the minister, go and procedurally amend the constitution?
They said go and do everything possible to make sure the president goes to 2030. There is nothing the minister can do other than massacring the constitution of Zimbabwe. Because the constitution of Zimbabwe is not ambiguous. It says 2 5-year limits.
Is your argument emotional or legal?
My argument is based on the constitution of Zimbabwe.
The question is it legal or emotional?
My argument is based on the constitution, Mr. B. Remember, I said I was part of the COPAC constitution. I know the problems that were the previous president and the problem we had with the past constitution. So the reason why I'm passionate, I know my colleagues, the 3,000 people, COPAC members that went out and heard the people of Zimbabwe say, they know what I'm saying is true. It's gospel truth that the people of Zimbabwe said, if a president has 2 5-year terms, that's it, he has to go. That's why I'm passionate. It's like a baby. I was part of the drafting constitution. I went and saw women and children sitting in the sun, saying this is how we can fix our nation. What were those women looking for? A better Zimbabwe, better government, democracy in Zimbabwe, multi-party democracy, representation in parliament, not what we have right now.
Some have argued that those aspirations of you wanting a better Zimbabwe are the aspirations that can be actually, be brought to life, be birthed by the extension of this man's term, because he is changing this country to be a utopia.
I've told you, Mr. B, we've got 2 problems with this current government. I've described it as a kakistocracy. The second term that would describe this current government is kleptocracy. How can a kakistocracy and a kleptocratic government bring utopia? Tell me. Tell me. These are the least qualified people to be running Zimbabwe. They are not constitutionalists. They see the constitution of Zimbabwe as an enemy. They want to rot in power like nails. 45 years they failed to deliver. What now do what they want to deliver? ZANU-PF have been there 1980, 45 years. If you have got a vision as a political party, you have to deliver within the time and the mandate that people give you. We vote for him, that will be for 5 years. Your vision should be limited to what? The 5 years. You plan to say, in 5 years, I'll deliver these things. Why you say, I'll deliver in 20 years when you know the constitution says, that will be, you're allowed what? 10 years. It shows an ulterior motive not to listen to the constitution, not to obey the constitution. 45 years, what have you been doing?
Your 10th prayer here is 5th respondent shall summon first 4th respondents over the issue human rights observance and shall make a report to Parliament in accordance to section 44.
Yes.
Can you explain to me, can you explain to our viewers?
Okay. This has to do with the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. The Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission is obligated by the Constitution of Zimbabwe to make sure that all arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, any private citizen, is acting in tandem with the Bill of Rights, Chapter 4. And it is given the power, it has got all the powers it needs to summon anyone of authority who violates the Bill of Rights. So as it stands now, we are saying there is complete disaster. We are on the brink of falling into an abyss. Zimbabwe human rights should wake up because it has been sleeping. Where is the Zimbabwe human rights when the people's rights are in danger? Being endangered by the executive. What have they done? Not even a press statement. Like all other commissions in Zimbabwe. We've got an overbearing executive that has made most arms of government defunct. Maybe they're just waiting to come on a victim because we don't see what they're delivering. So our prayer is that they should wake up to their constitutional obligation. Summon the president, summon the minister of justice, summon the speaker of parliament. What have you done to protect Chapter 4 rights, the political rights of the citizens of Zimbabwe and the political parties? Is that not their mandate? That's their mandate. So where is Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission now? Sleeping, like all other commissions. You don't cherry pick what you want to address when you're a commission. You are not political, you are not partisan. You stand for the rights of the people of Zimbabwe. Wake up to your constitutional obligations.
We'll just take a break, but please don't go away. We've got this conversation where we are talking about Zimbabwe's future, the politics, the people, the power, and the law. And I have here on this, the Free Talk, in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation, Mr. More Precision Muzadzi. He's being precise in exactly what he wants.
Thank
so
you,
join us after this break where we talk about this Gov-C Victor pandemic. Welcome back to this, the Free Talk, in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom, here on Heart and Soul TV and radio. And we are discussing the constitutional issues that have arisen following a ZANU-PF resolution to mandate or instruct the Minister of Justice and all other arms of government to ensure that President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa extends his term to 2030. He himself has said he's a constitutionalist and he will abide by the Constitution. This is what the president has said. But more precision, just one opposition leader said there is no constitution to talk about. The constitution has already been torn. It is now time to defend Zimbabwe. What do you get out of that statement?
That statement, if I'm not mistaken, was made by Nelson Chamisa. I respect Mr. Chamisa. Every person, every Zimbabwean citizen is entitled to have their own opinion. But to say there is no constitution, that's a lie. We've got a new constitution, a fresh constitution, 2013 constitution. So by that statement, it shows that Mr. Chamisa is continuing to show that he is inept to lead. Mr. Chamisa is incapable as a leader. What he's good at is quitting and running when the going gets tough. Right now, he has resigned. People are crying. He does nothing other than just quoting verses. It's not that it's bad to quote verses, but when people, about 1.something million people, gave him their vote, they were looking at him as a leader who will champion their cause. The same way that Morgan Tsvangirai used to be in the forefront when there is a struggle. Mr. Chamisa doesn't want a struggle. I don't know whether he's a pacifist or what, but what he's saying there is no constitution to defend. It means the people of Zimbabwe have to look elsewhere for leadership, away from Mr. Chamisa. He's totally incapable. He has disappointed the best of troops. He left his house orphans. It's like you, Mr. B. If someone comes to attack your family and you run away and you leave your wife and children and say, so you deal with the enemy by yourself. You don't run away from the affray. You fight, you stick it out. Do you think Morgan Tsvangirai would run away? There was a split before, maybe twice in MDC, but Tsvangirai stood. People could know as long as Tsvangirai is there, will be still fighting. He will not abandon us midway. Just think of a captain while in the open oceans, and the captain abandons the ship and leaves passengers. What do you think that captain, his company will think of him? Will he get a job somewhere else? Never. You took an oath to lead. Lead. No matter through rain, through sunshine, through heat and cold, you lead. You remain with your soldiers. You remain with your troops. Now, but for him to say there is no constitution, don't we have a constitution that we have?
You earlier on actually said that the constitution has been violated left, right, and center, and that the president is failing to live within the constitutional mandate. Is that not an admission that our constitution is normal?
It's not. The constitution is alive and it's existent. It's powerful. It takes the citizens now to claim their rights. We have to fight for our rights. Democracy is not given by the elite. It is grabbed by the masses. That's why we are saying, as voice of the people, we're a Chartist movement. We champion the people's charter, the constitution. We are coming on the scene.
So you said that we are living with illegality right now in your earlier statements, and you said that you are not going to allow that. Now, if the constitution is alive and is working, why are we living with the illegality?
Very true, Mr. Amin. That's why you see, I sent you a banner yesterday about our manifesto that we are using for 2028 presidential election. One of the things that we mentioned there is judiciary overhaul. If we win as voice of the people, many judges are going to find themselves out of work and men will be behind the bars because there is a lot of judicial impropriety. There is a lot of violation of people's rights. There is no respect for the supremacy of the Constitution by the very courts. You have been a victim. The chapter 4 has got rights for imprisoned people. Did you find your rights according to the Constitution being upheld? No. Why is the court failing to respect the Bill of Rights? The judges should be knowledgeable about the Constitution. Judges should respect.
Would it be amiss to say that the Constitution is not there?
The
Because
Constitution
as you
is-
rightly say, the Constitution gives an accused person rights.
Yes,
I didn't enjoy those rights.
very true.
I didn't see them.
True.
Up to now, I don't see them.
Yes.
Where is the Constitution?
That's why I was saying this government, people of Zimbabwe, open up your eyes. These are not constitutionalists. This is a rogue regime. We have to deal with them. Come 2028 when we have the election.
So-
Vote these rogue guys out. They do not stand for the interests of the people of Zimbabwe. Chapter 2 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, it gives us national objectives. With these national objectives, if they are faithfully observed, Mr. B, we won't have the situation of saying, go and see Victor. If you read chapter 2 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, it's a manifesto on its own. It talks of the rights of children, the rights of all veterans, the elderly, development, national development, affordable health, shelter, affordable everything. Job creation, manpower.
Is this being observed?
It is not. Let me just
So
read
where
a
is-
snippet
so-
for you.
No, and I understand that. So where is the Constitution? Because you're saying all these things. They're
The
not being observed.
Constitution.
The law is not being observed. According to you, the law is not being observed. We are living with the illegality. The section 2 of the Constitution is not being observed. So what are you talking about?
The
when you say
Constitution is there,
Constitution?
Mr. B.
Uh-huh.
We have
Where
the
is it?
2013 Constitution, the compact Constitution. If we have a thief in the land, it doesn't mean we don't have laws to deal with a thief.
what is
I'm
the-
going to
what
give you
is
an
the-
example,
what is the
Mr. B.
Constitution,
I'm
Mr.
giving you
Mr.
this document that was produced by the people of Zimbabwe from 2009 and 2018 is alive, it existent. What we don't have, let me finish.
When you
Let
say
me finish,
alive,
Mr. B. What we don't have are constitutionalists in government. That's why I said to you earlier on, we've got a kakistocracy. People who are least suitable to be in government are the ones that are in the executive. They are the ones that are in the legislature right now. People who sing, it's okay, bravo, president, destroy the constitution. Is that being an August House? Look at the constitution of South Africa. The lively debates that are there. Such nonsense cannot happen in South Africa. Such nonsense cannot happen in the Parliament of the United Kingdom of the United States of America. But we've got one of the best constitutions. It gives the people
where
of
is it?
Zimbabwe,
Where is it?
it gives them a lot of rights.
where is it?
The 2013 constitution is there. The
Where is
problem
it?
that is there, Mr. Bilage was saying, when you went to court yourself, you were trying to cite your constitutional rights. But did the court observe that? No. Why are they failing the courts when the constitution is there, clearly saying these are the rights of imprisoned people? So that's why we were saying the political party. That's why I was saying, Mr.
You
B.
answer yourself clearly.
I'm saying, Mr. B, that's what I'm saying. Say, we are not sitting down doing nothing as a political party. Like I said, we're a Chartist movement. We champion the people's charter. In 2028, we will contest. We are beginning to fight right now.
You have contested twice as
Yes,
a
I
member
did.
of parliament.
Yes, I did.
You lost in that.
Very true.
Yes. You are now seeking to contest as the president.
Yes.
And I'm asking you a simple question, Mr. Future President.
Thank you. I receive it.
What is a constitution? What is having a constitution? Is having a constitution having a paper or a book that is in a cupboard, or having a constitution is actually having rights being observed in line with the constitution?
The document that we have as the Constitution of Zimbabwe, it is perfect. It's not a problem. What the problem that we have, we've got people in government, we've got a stone age mindset. We wanted to convert Zimbabwe from being a constitutional democracy into a stone age kingdom. You see, they are very far in the past. These are the people who have to vote out of government. That is the problem that we have, not the document itself. No. But the people want to talk of Mutapa and all the things. That is what you are fighting. You see, you understand, Mr. Mizazi? We are a modern country.
You are Mr. Mizazi.
We are a republic. Okay? We are not a kingdom.
I understand you. My question remains unanswered. What is a constitution? A document or the act?
The constitution is the people's charter, what the people of Zimbabwe agreed to be put in the people's charter from 2009 to 2013, and was voted in a referendum and won with 90%. And this is the supreme law of Zimbabwe, which everyone in the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, and any other person has to live by. But if any person, whether it be a person of authority, a juristic person, or just a natural person, violates that constitution, there is a need now to have a system that respects the constitution of Zimbabwe. But if you have now the leader who is supposed to be in the forefront of defending the constitution, trying to undermine the constitution, trying to triturate the rights of the people, trying to impose something that is an illegality, unconstitutional, then you have got a problem. The problem is not the constitution. We've got one of the best constitutions in the world, but we've got the worst government, maybe in Africa, the worst kakistocracy. There is no two ways about it.
I hear you, but you have not answered my question.
I've answered you, Mr. B.
I said, what is a constitution?
It is the document I gave you.
Or the act of actually respecting
An
that?
act is not a constitution, but a written charter is the constitution. Understand, my Mr. B? Your acts are not a constitution, but a written charter, a written agreement, a written document, that is the constitution. How can your acts become a constitution?
Therefore, saying that, you have said that we have an amazing document
Yes.
of the constitution.
Yes.
But it's not being respected.
Yes.
And you said that from the executive to the judiciary, they are not giving effect
Yes.
to the constitution.
Very true.
Do you therefore stand there and sit there and we say, no, we have a constitution? in
Yes,
Zimbabwe?
we do.
Where is it? Where is it being exercised?
What am I reading right now? Are we not reading the constitution?
We are reading
How
the
is the
paper.
president sworn in? Was he not sworn in using the constitution? The current president. Or the parliamentarians, are they not sworn in using the constitution? Or the cabinet ministers, anyone who falls under the oath of office, they are sworn using what? The constitution. So why are you saying the constitution is not there? It's alive. But the problem that we have,
How can you say
let me finish.
How can you say it's
They
alive
cherry-
when it's not working?
It is working.
I want
It
you
is
to
working.
reconcile that for me.
The
It's
application,
working.
right? The application that I've justified now in the ConCourt, is it not based on the constitution? So why are you not saying it's not working? Am I not going to the constitutional court? Every other arm of government is a creation of the constitution. It is the mother. But it's like any family setup. You have got a father now trying to hit the mother. What do the children do? They intervene to stop the madness of the father. We're trying to stop the madness of the executive from attacking what? The constitution.
You don't feel
They've
like you're
done-
contradicting yourself.
I'm not contradicting. The fact that your father is hitting your mother, does that mean your mother is not existent? No, because if it was not existent, there would be nothing to defend. If your mother was dead, would you defend someone that is already dead? No. We're defending the constitution because it is there. How can we defend something that is not in existence? We're defending something that is in existence.
But in your submissions, Mr. Mzadzi, you said that all the people's rights are not being respected. You said Section 2 of the Constitution, nothing is happening about it.
Am I lying, Mr. Mdarabi?
So if you are
Am I
saying
lying that the national objective set out in Chapter 2 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe that speak about affordable health and education? Is there affordable health and education in Zimbabwe? No. It speaks of employment creation. It speaks of the rights of the youth to jobs. We've got unemployment sitting at 95%. Is that respecting the national objectives? Is that pushing? They do not even read the Constitution. They don't understand the Constitution. That's the problem. The Constitution, Section 7 of the Constitution says the Constitution of Zimbabwe must be taught in schools, and it should be part of the training of members of the civil and security services. That's why you find members, civil servants and security guys act unconstitutional, because they don't know the Constitution. But the Constitution says, let it be taught. But you will find them trying to teach what other things, type ideology. Why not the Constitution first? Teach the Constitution. It says everyone, it should be taught in schools. So the children from creche to university, they know the Constitution. They know their rights. So everyone acts constitutional, it becomes part of our side.
You say that if you win this election in 2028, that most judges are going to find themselves in prison. And you are appearing before them and asking them to make sure that illegality of extending the term of office beyond 2028 does not happen. Now, what are the odds that they would help a man who wants to put them in prison?
Mr. Darabi, we've got a constitutional application that is before the Constitutional Court. We've got our own party manifesto that is there. Defending the Constitution of Zimbabwe does not stop my party from having its own political manifesto. Because there are things that we observe as a political party that the rights of the people of Zimbabwe are being violated by the current government. And some of the rogue judges are known by Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission that have done dubious things. We've heard of judges that have written an order without even people appearing before them. And those judges are still working scot-free. When we get into power, such nonsense will not exist, Mr. Mimi. Everyone has to operate within the parameters of legality. The reason why I don't have investment, which investor will come to a lawless country like Zimbabwe? Who invest? Tomorrow you just come with an active statutory instrument. All your US dollars have been converted into ZIG. Who will invest this money in such a country? There has to be policy consistency. There has to be rule of law. Investors come to a country where there is a rule of law. You understand me, Darabi? This is what you are saying. The rule of law should be respected by all. Equality before the law, all men are equal before the law. There should be no cherry picking. There should be no bias. No.
We have run out of time, Mr. Mzadzi, but I want to thank you very much for coming through and sharing with us the path that you have taken as you move to defend the Constitution, as you say. And in this document, you say the President of Zimbabwe and his party have just endorsed a resolution to extend the president's term of office from 2028 to 2030 by misconstruing Chapter 5, Section 91(2). They think they have a loophole in the clause to give president 2 more years, since the clause does not count anything under 3 years as a term. Now, this is your application before the court, and which was accepted by the Constitutional Court. Right now, as it stands, Mr. Mzadzi and his co-applicant, Gambakwe, are seeking to have direct access to the Constitutional Court so that this matter can be heard. And once the direct access is granted, they'll file their heads of arguments and they will go into the merits of the matter and will argue this case before the Constitutional Court. According to Mr. Mzadzi, his core contention is that the president is not acting in the best interest of Zimbabweans and is not acting to defend the Constitution by allowing this 2030 mantra to go unchallenged, because he took an oath of office to defend the Constitution and he is not doing so. But Mr. Mzadzi, before I let you go, just under 2 minutes, if there's anything that you need to be able to share with the people of Zimbabwe from your heart, maybe a question that I've not asked you, maybe something that sits deeply in your heart that you want to share with the people of Zimbabwe, I give you the opportunity.
Thank you so much. As I leave this platform, I would just want to challenge all those Zimbabweans that were in the constitution making process in the COPAC program. You should be in the forefront of defending the Constitution of Zimbabwe. You were out there. You saw, you heard the people of Zimbabwe saying, we want 2 5-year term limits for the president as a solution to the previous problem that we had during the Mugabe era. Do not be passive. Stand up and defend the Constitution. We have to vociferously defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe. The way forward, as I see it, apart from filing this Constitutional Court application, is to have a post-COPAC summit where we meet all those people that were in the constitution making process. Let's come together. If there are funders who can fund us, so that we might have a conference to say, how do we defend, uphold, and respect the Constitution of Zimbabwe? I think that would be in the best interest of the people of Zimbabwe. I thank you.
I mean, I want to thank you very much, Mr. More Precision Mzadzi, for coming through. I mean, this is Heart and Soul TV and radio, and this platform is for everyone to be heard, for all Zimbabweans to share their views and to ensure that there's cross-pollination of ideas. I mean, the superior ideas must be the ones that win to govern this nation for the better. And this will always be the Free Talk in proud partnership with the Frederick Newman Foundation for Freedom. And I, your host as usual, Dara B, getting into the meat, the bold, and nuts of all discussion that matters for our people. Now, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all our social media platforms so that you don't get left behind. Now, this will always be the Free Talk. Until next time, until we meet again, I am Dara B.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Kutenga